speaking of baseball, we're going to go on to this episode's logo of the show. You've decided to join me for this one, Erika. Today we are talking about the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Now, going a little bit into the history of the Richmond Flying Squirrels, there are really two histories to look at. There's the history of baseball in Richmond, and then there is the history of this particular team. So taking a quick look at baseball in Richmond, Richmond has had baseball teams of some professional level there since the 1880s. They first started out in 1884 in the American Association with a team called the Richmond Virginians, which, why not?
I was going to say, why not?
Yeah, they had, in the Negro League, they had the Richmond Giants. So even in that particular league, they had something. Now we're going to jump forward to kind of the modern concept of baseball and the way that we've split up the minor leagues. In 1954, they had the Richmond Virginians as a AAA team because, once again, why not? In 66, they got picked up as a Braves affiliate, and they were the Richmond Braves until 2008, when the Braves organization took the team away from them and made them the Gwinnett Braves. And that's where they are now. You look up the Gwinnett Braves, gosh darn it, there they are. Richmond now has the Flying Squirrels, which in their own right have kind of an interesting background. They started out as the West Haven Yankees in the 70s. They became the West Haven Whitecaps, which is a team that's now the West Michigan Whitecaps, stole the name from them. They got taken over by the Athletics. They moved to Albany. Albany, for some reason, decided to share their name with Colony. I don't even know where that is, Coloniie, apparently near Albany, all my sources tell me. And they were the Albany Colony A's. They then went back to a Yankees affiliate, became the Albany Colony Yankees. Then they moved over and became the Norwich Navigators. Now, this is a logo I'd like to talk about for a second. Eric, if you'd be kind enough to pull up the Norwich Navigators logo with me.
Oh, do I really have to?
Yeah, you really do. So there was this period kind of in the early to mid-90s where every single mascot looked like they really meant harm to you and your family. Now, the Norwich colors are this yellow, purple, green Mardi Gras disaster.
Yeah.
If this were a New Orleans color set, I'm fine with that. But Norwich, where I don't know, let's say that's in, Connecticut. That sounds about right. I think they begin the Connecticut Defenders. So let's say that's what they are. Now, in the middle, and I want to describe this accurately. So, Erika, please, if I get this wrong, let me know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
The Navigator is an alligator looking through an old-school boat wheel. He has up to one eye a baseball bat that I have to believe, due to whatever mental issues he has, he thinks he can see through. He is also at the house next door to yours. He is looking at your wife naked, and he's giving you the thumbs up because he thinks she's pretty hot. The problem with this is you're pretty sure the bat can't see anything. So it's just a gator with a bat in his eye staring at your naked wife, giving you the thumbs up through the window.
I do not think that is inaccurate in any way, shape, or form.
No, and if you don't believe me, it may not be up to date, but the next day or two, check out the YouTube channel for Just Barely Sports, and we will have this entire discussion up there with the Norwich Navigators logo, where the Norwich Navigator thinks your wife has pretty sweet boobs.
It is the creepiest thing I think I've ever seen. And the fact that people actually wore this on their clothing is just...
Yeah, it was the hat logo. Like, there's no doubt about it. I remember when this team ended, I tried to get this hat, and the last couple sold out pretty quickly, because I'm sure they didn't produce a lot of them to begin with.
No, as they should not have.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we're going to move on. Time passes. Eventually this team ends up coming to Richmond as the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Now, this is a logo from our friends at Brandiose. If you take a look, I believe it is the June 2014 issue of Mental Floss, is a big spread about baseball. One of the things in there is this logo, where they talk to the guys at Brandiose about how they come up with these ideas. And they talk about how they found the colors of the city and so on and so forth. And we end up with a logo that is, I kid you not, a superhero squirrel flying through the air wearing an acorn with an R on it.
Yes.
And I mean, this right here, this is another one of these. They make a lot of these logos so kids will buy hats. This is the kind of thing you make sure you make it so cute and so awesome that you do not have to play baseball. And I would say with this logo, it looks now it is very stylized, but I would say I could imagine him hanging out with Iron Man right now.
Yes. I was actually thinking this is, at first glance, you would almost assume this was for one of those tween animated shows that are really hot right now, like on Nickelodeon. Like he totally has his own show. In my head, he has his own show, and I'm trying to DVR it.
Oh yeah, he looks like he hangs out with, if you remember older comic books, like Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. Yes. This guy's right in the zoo crew.
Yes.
There is no doubt about that. Now, their alternate logo is an R on an acorn. It's the exact same. It's like the color opposite acorn than what he is wearing on his chest, which I think is really neat because if you take a look in the background of the acorn, you see the baseball laces, so they didn't lose the baseball in there.
No, I mean, I absolutely love everything they've done with this logo. As I think it's, when you asked me to be on the show and if I wanted to stick around for the logo portion, I definitely wanted to. I spent a lot of my my early career as a designer, and I've done logo design, and I really love really well put together logos. And Brandios is the name of this company, right?
Yes, they used to be. They have a website called the Clink Room. We'll put that up so everybody can find it, and they kind of talk about some of their design stuff. But the company is called Brandios. One of their most popular things, if you're a Major League Baseball fan, is they redesigned the jerseys for the Reds. That new look where the Reds numbers kind of look like it came out of an old saloon, that's their design.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they did that. They also did the redesign of the Mr. Red guy, like the old guy with the baseball head and the handlebar mustache.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep, they brought him back. He was a logo from a lot of years ago, and they freshened him up a little bit and put him back out there. But the team hadn't used him since like the 60s, and they dusted him off and brought him back out.
Just super talented guys. I mean, just the logos aside, they are obviously some very super talented guys, and they know their audience. And I absolutely love this logo. I really want it as a giant sticker on my car. Like that's really, it needs to be front and center of my rear window. It really does just need to be giant right there. And
that's what they're trying to do, and they do a heck of a job at it. The other thing I wanted to note on the R acorn is what I like is that one of the bars of the R is the tail of the squirrel.
Yes.
That I thought was just, and it's one of those things, if you don't want to see it, you're not going to. It's not so obvious that you're going to go like, gosh darn it, I can't have that R. It's got a squirrel tail.
Right.
But if you look really close, you're like, oh, they really took the time to bring all of that branding over, even across the logo.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Oh, God, it's such a good logo.
It really is. And the other kind of cool thing is the word mark for the team, which just, I like that it has a lot of motion. They certainly caught the flying. Everything's kind of moving from the left to the right.
Yes.
The stuff kind of has little tails like little foxes. I just think it's kind of a cute idea.
Yeah, and the way that the end of the S kind of flares out and it looks like a squirrel's tail. It's really just a great logo, and it has movement to it, which is really important. You talk about the flying squirrels. It couldn't be like a stagnant logo, and they've done such a great job. I would love that. Where do I get this?
As a matter of fact, and we will put all of that up, you can go right to the team, I'm sure you can, and get it at, I'm sure it is something like MILB.Richmond Flying Squirrels, but we'll put it up in the show notes. You can also find it, you can find the hats, I'm sure, at any lids, as well as if you go to a website called the Clink Room, the team, or the design team will sell it to you themselves. What's really neat is if you buy it from the Clink Room and you buy it from the design folks, they'll send you all kinds of weird extra things, like bottle caps, and patches that have like their special logos just for them, their in-house stuff that you have a chance to catch if you pick it up there.
Okay, awesome. I definitely would love to have a hat with. I really like the acorn. Like I love the squirrel one, but the acorn one I think really does it for me.
The acorn is their alternate. I believe it's their batting practice hat. But if you take a look, literally, if you go to lids.com, you should be able to find that without too much of a problem at all.
I am a Lids member as well, so I get to save 20%.
Fantastic. Well, Erika, thank you very much for being on. Thank you for watching this excerpt from the Just Barely Sports podcast featuring the Minor League Geek. Remember, if you'd like to hear the entire episode of the Just Barely Sports podcast, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever it is you find your podcasts. Once again, thank you very much for watching.